Hey folks, it's Thursday, time for Song of the Day, and we're going to switch things up a little bit. There have been some things that have been happening recently that have shed a new light on the issues we have within our society. What has happened in Atlanta and New York City and now Minneapolis shines a very bright light on a problem we have societally, which is our biases and our racism. And I was once told by a very good friend of mine, Justin Cruz, that if I've never had to think about my race, I am privileged. And I am privileged. I have grown up in a white privileged world. I've never had to worry about my kids walking down the street and being mistaken for criminals because of the color of their skin. I've never had to worry about how the police treat me differently because of the color of my skin. I've never had to worry about any of those things in my life. It doesn't mean that I don't understand a little bit about what is happening, and it doesn't mean I don't care, and it doesn't mean I don't have a voice. And I do have a voice, and that voice says it's time for justice, and it's time for fairness, and it's time to end racism and our biases around people of color. With that, I'm going to play a song today from the 1960s Civil Rights Movement. It's a song that I've heard many times, but I've never actually played until today. I just felt it was appropriate. I'm going to do the Pete Seeger, Joan Baez song version of the song, We Shall Overcome. We shall overcome. We shall overcome. We shall overcome someday. Well, deep in my heart, I do believe that we shall overcome someday. We'll walk hand in hand. We'll walk hand in hand. We'll walk hand in hand someday. Well, deep in my heart, I do believe we shall overcome someday. We shall all be free. We shall all be free. We shall all be free someday. Well, deep in my heart, I do believe we shall all be free someday. We are not afraid. We are not afraid. We are not afraid someday. Well, deep in my heart, I do believe we shall overcome someday. We are not alone. We are not alone. We are not alone someday. Deep in my heart, I do believe we shall overcome someday. The whole wide world around, the whole wide world around, the whole wide world around someday. Well, deep in my heart, I do believe that we shall overcome someday. We shall overcome. We shall overcome. We shall overcome someday. Well, deep in my heart, I do believe that someday we shall overcome. Someday we shall overcome. Someday. Everybody, stay healthy, stay safe.